Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This season three, we back and we better. That's the saying for the night. Back and we better. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't even gonna waste time to get into this, man. The one, the only, Noble Noah.
What's going on, everybody? It feels good. It feels amazing to be finally back. It's All Love Podcast, season three. Season three, we back, man. It feels good. Y'all already know, ain't nothing changed. My IG name right there. If you ain't follow me, go ahead and follow me. We ready to start this season off with a banger. My man Timo right there.
Y'all already know. Yeah, it's Timo. Y'all can follow me at off the top underscore media. I'm continue giving y'all this lit content. Continue putting different things out there for y'all to discuss. And y'all already know how we coming. We back for another season, fellas. It feels good to be back. And we starting this season off right, y'all. We got Christine, Christine the comedy cougar on with us starting off this season. If you can please, speak to the audience, let them know, everything that you got going on, anything that you got coming, and what they can look forward and where they can find you at, and all anything that you feel like you need to let them know.
So you can find me on basically all social media platforms. I'm on TikTok. I'm not a nanny. I'm an auntie on TikTok. I ain't got no kids. This and Instagram Christine the Comedy Cougar and my Twitter is comic Christine Comic. I think I can't remember my Twitter, but if you go to my IG and tap on my tree link, you get everything, all my social media platforms, all the things that I've done. Um, so I'm a comedian that started doing comedy at 48. So that's like 3 years ago. I call it my midlife crisis moment. I literally started doing comedy the year before the pandemic hit. So I had a good, strong year in comedy before the pandemic hit. And I started doing these videos. But how I got started in comedy is that I literally was a person that liked to get up on stage as a kid and do all. My mother said I was a natural. I always wanted attention. I guess I was one of them attention seeking kids. I was the middle kid. I was the only girl. So I kind of stepped back from the industry because I was in the music industry for a little bit, running around doing marketing rep, one of the biggest record stores in New York, H&B record stores. And I found myself going to a place where, you know, a lot of people don't talk about depression in the Black community and addiction. And I struggled with that for a minute. And I didn't have like the worst addiction. I just smoked weed and got paranoid. That's my joke. So I'm the person that you can't get high with weed and it would just get me a little depressed. So I stopped doing that. And I just, started going to therapy, self-help programs, talking in front of people, letting people know about me and getting certain help that I needed. And I found like a lot of times when I was telling my story, people would laugh at the shit that I was saying. I'm like, yo, I wonder if I should try this comedy thing. And you'll be surprised how many people that are in recovery or coming from a place of sadness that decide to do comedy. And I reached out to a friend of mine that had a comedy club out in Brooklyn, Ray DeJean, called Laughaholics Comedy Club, through a couple of mutual friends of ours. And we used to go to clubs and shows all the time. I was like, yo, I want to try this comedy thing. What can I do? So he gave me an opportunity to kind of like have a residency with him for my first year of comedy. So the end of 2018, I asked, yo, what can I do to get on this comedy thing? And I also had a friend named Omar Thompson, who is a comedian from Harlem, who put a lot of people on. You wouldn't even imagine how many people Omar like kind of put a battery in their back and said, go ahead, get on stage, just do it. One of them being Mr. Commodore. He was working with Mr. Commodore. He started doing skits with Commodore too, back when Commodore really started first doing skits. And he was telling me, get the comedy Bible and stop thinking, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So quick from that was November, December 2018. By February 2019, I was on the stage for the first time, not knowing what material I was gonna do. Like I literally rehearsed in front of a couple of friends in a church basement before I did my. They said, "What you gonna say?" I said, "I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna talk." And you can't just talk and do comedy. There's a whole art to comedy. And as you start,
Mm-hmm.
as I started, I realized like there's premise, setup, punchline. You got to know where you're going with your joke. And I got this book called The Comedy Bible by Judith Carter, which Omar recommended me to get. And a lot of comics, um, that's like the Bible. You know what I mean? It really gives you a mindset of what comedy is really about, and it's an art. So I got the book, I got the Bible, I went on stage, and ever since then, it was like every Wednesday and Thursday for the first year of comedy. I was in Lindenwood Diner by the Pink Houses in Brooklyn doing stand-up comedy, and it was like a classroom because a lot of people that Ray had come through his room were like A-list celebrities, like just sometimes coming in just to do a little spot because they want to work out material. And I had the opportunity to work with George Wilborn, who writes for Monique. Oh my God, Coco Brown, Flex Alexander, Capone, Talent, Rob Stapleton. The list goes on, and I can name names, and it's just so many people. Like, to have the experience that I had in my first year of comedy, I feel like it was a blessing. And Ray really gave me an opportunity to do a little radio because he did radio sometimes too, so I do little guest spots. So that was my first year in comedy. Boom,
Oh,
to the pandemic. Everything shuts down. Now we have no outlet. Then we opened back up and we were doing drive-in comedy, and he was doing comedy shows in the parking lot at the diner. And then, I knew Smokey. I knew a lot of comedians, and Smokey was like, "Yo, you got to get out of Brooklyn. You got to move around. You got to start doing stuff." And I'm teaching a class. Ain't nobody was doing shit really, but going outside doing comedy, and I didn't like it, but I took Smokey's class, and then one day we were outside doing skits. Smokey has this thing called this show that he does, Mixed Nuts. And he's the first episode now is streaming on Tubi, and Dame Dash picked it up, Fox Soul. So we were filming parts of season 2 Mixed Nuts, but we have to reshoot all of that now. It didn't, whatever we shot that day didn't work, but I shot a video with these young skit, like there's a skit community in New York that's so thick. Like it's like, I don't even know how I managed to get in, but I got in
Yeah.
by the skin of my teeth. and I did my first skit. They was like, "Yo, you got a car?" That's all they asked me. "You got a car? Can we use your car? Matter of fact, can you sit in the front seat and be the mother?" And that's it. That's how my skit and my comedy career kind of started. And ever since then, I've been going to Smokey's class, mentoring with him. And I know you guys got questions, but that's just the basic beginning of how I kind of got into comedy.
Okay, no problem. Let's clap it up for Miss Christine.
Good.
I'm glad that you brought up the skit of how it started off for you, because I know my man T Moore. That's how he presented you to us. So if you can get in detail with that, T Moore.
Yeah, so I've been doing my media page for probably about a couple of years, and so I always see different skits, different scenarios, different videos, and I'll probably respond to them, do reaction videos to them, and I did a reaction video to a skit that you was in probably a while back, and it's funny though because the reaction video I did, the singer Avant, he actually I guess seen my video and posted it on his page. So when I did it, how I actually came across your page was somebody, I guess tagged you in the comments. And then I'm like, oh, for real, and then it went off. That's how it went. And I reached out to you. I'm like, okay, I would love to work with her. But yeah, buddy, you got the skit, so we could show her which one that we talking about.
I sure do.
This man is a true deadbeat.
Why the
Shaking
fuck
my
you got her
head.
out here pumping fucking gas and heels and shit? If you get your fat ass out the fucking car and go pump the gas for her, what the fuck are you doing?
Yo, please get the fuck out of here.
No, please get the fuck out the car.
Yo, why are you recording?
Please get the fuck. I can record if I want the free country. No, I can't. Sorry. Sorry, ma'am. He got you pumping gas. You look very beautiful. I'm sorry. He's an asshole.
Mind your fucking business.
I'm sorry. You mind your business and go pump the gas. That's what you should be doing.
Mind your business.
No, this is my business.
Fucking business. Guy,
this is a lot of my business. Go pump the fucking gas for her. No, you need to pump the gas. She over here, she's... No, fuck you mean finish doing what she's doing. You get out and go do it. You get the fuck out and go do it. Get out and go do it.
Y'all, so I'm trying to figure out if Shorty that cuz with either his mother or is that a cougar that he fucking with. Because you could tell that she got some age on him. And yeah, me personally, I do feel like he should have been out pumping the gas, but was that really enough to really cause all the commotion? What y'all think?
I remember seeing. Yeah, I remember now. Now I put two and two together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, so, what's it called? You know, when I originally did it, you know, I didn't even realize, you know, because you know that's you know that you was the same one in the video until I really put two and two together. And then I also seen one probably somebody put in the comments, you know, I guess y'all did one shoveling snow too. You know, so
yeah, we did that. We did that recently. That was when we had the big snowstorm the other day. We did that.
I mean, me personally, when I seen it the first time, like when he posted a long time ago, I thought it was real. I thought it was that scenario really happened because I could really see that happening. I can really see a woman seeing a man sitting in the car and getting so mad that she had to walk up and say something. So I'm thinking that was a risk. So in my mind, I was going, oh, that really happened. So I was going to really do a whole thing on that a long time ago because how it happened. But then when Timo brought it back up and said you was going to be on the show, I said, well, maybe we need to start off with that topic. Maybe we need to have that discussion and really figure out who is wrong in that scenario.
Yeah, hey, Miss Christine, you had me mad at that guy for nothing. I definitely thought it was real. I'm like, why he didn't get out there and pump it? Well, you better get out there and pump that gas. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? There's a reason, and I know you want to say something. There's a reason why we do it the way we do it. Number one, it's funny. Number two, it causes conversation, and we try to when we do stuff. It's the way it's shot that kind of makes it look real. But if everybody knows I'm a content creator, they kind of put two together at some point. Like, yeah, that's that chick, da 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 da. But it's a conversation starter. That's the point behind some of the videos that we do. Like most of them, it causes conversation. Like, would you let your mother, like the one that you saw, would you let your mother sit in the front seat or your wife? So this one, would you let? And I've been wanting to do that video for a long time. I've been telling everybody, yo, I want to do that video. Somebody was like, yo, that's been done before, but it wasn't done like that. Like the reaction of somebody, and I like getting the POVs where somebody's feeling and they're talking, making it seem like they're really, because you know everybody out here with a camera these days, walking up on everybody, being in their business. So it kind of gave that effect, like this person really was in our business.
Now, if Butter, because I think Butter may have a clip from that video as well. If you want to show the viewers the video that she's discussing right now.
I sure will.
What's going on here? Like, why she in the front seat? And I get that that's your mom and everything, but like, you going to the back, right? No, absolutely not. Why? What are you talking about? I'm your wife. Are you serious right now? Okay, calm down. We gotta keep having these type of conversations. Every time I link up with your mother, is always a problem. I'm in his life now, so why are you still here? I'm always gonna be. Okay, but go to the back fucking seat.
Babe,
I'm your wife. I'm your fucking wife.
And I love you.
But this is my car. Why do I gotta?
Babe, I understand we winning this together, but babe, that's my mom. I haven't seen her since the corona.
Yeah. He came from my car. No, but every time she's around, you switch up.
Nah, I'm just saying.
Stop being a mama's boy.
I love you and I love her. I love both of y'all.
Go to the back.
Babe,
Go to the back
babe,
seat.
Mom, please.
Go to the back seat. No, I'm so tired of this shit. Go to the back.
Babe.
You could be his mother, cool, but go to the back. Please, I always got this.
Now, Christine, this video right here had me, Butter, and my cousin up off the late night going back and forth for I don't know how long.
Conversation starter.
Oh my
The
God.
convocation started. I'm like,
That
we was not getting anywhere.
And the funny thing is, we shot that video twice, and the only reason why we shot it twice is because the person that was filming it started laughing, and we heard the laughter, and we was like, "Damn, we gotta do it again." And I love the fact that we get these videos in like 1 or 2 shots. So that one was the first video, and it went viral to the point where if you Google "mother in the front seat," that video is in Africa, it's in China. That shit is everywhere. And comedian Clayton, I think Clayton Thomas did a side by side with that video too. His reaction was hilarious. Ebro in the morning talked about it. Somebody called me down south and said they was talking about it on another radio station down south. That video helped me get seen by so many people. Not only did that video help me and give me a little note, like world star, hood famous. It allowed me the opportunity to get on a I don't think it was one of the contributing factors that gave me enough notoriety that I got on this web series, Angela Yee Mastery of Comedy. It was filmed in December of 2020. When was the pandemic? 2020. 2020. Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
And
Yep.
it was released in 2021. I think it was June. And I was mentored by Donna Rollins on that web series, Ida Rodriguez, Ray Wood Jr., Carlos Miller, and the show was produced and created by Angela Yee. And they only shot 1 season so far, and it was an experience that like I've never like. I'm just honestly, the comedy thing is where my heart is. But I found out now that I'm a content creator, and I didn't even realize it.
No, you definitely making dope content. Like I said, the
Definitely.
videos that you're making are
Definitely.
definitely conversation starters. Like you said earlier, like all the videos that you make, it's starting a conversation to where people have to debate about
Right.
whose side are you on, which side are you
Right.
taking.
And a lot of times they don't like me.
So yeah, so I mean, so in that, so what did you mostly hear in that with that last skit that we just played? How people felt about a scenario about the whole mother and the son.
Listen, they start quoting Bible scriptures on you when they're ready. They I mean, people in social media, they are so, it's so funny to me how deep these discussions get, because they will pull out Psalms 21:51 down, and start just going off, like, once the son leaves the mother, like all kinds of stuff. It's just funny to me. It's really funny to me. And I stopped looking at the comments so much. Like, I used to get, like, when I first went viral, and these kids that do these videos that have been doing longer than I have, they were like, "Girl, this is your first time going viral. You're gonna stop reading the comments in a minute." Like, I can't keep up with the comments. I just can't. A lot of these videos, like that video, that was the first video I did. That was July in 20, right? So that was the first time it went viral. And then the second time, and that was her concept. That was starring Sarah's vision. She gave me the premise, and I just ran with it. What you want me to do? Sit in the front seat and don't get up? Okay, cool. I can do that. I can talk shit too. Yeah, gotcha.
And I knew it had to been something after the pandemic, because I was listening to what he said. He said, "That's my mom." He said, "I haven't seen her since Corona." So I knew it was a post-pandemic video.
Yep. It was actually when we first opened up. So that was July, the first time we opened up after like the big shutdown, and we were still kind of outside, but not really outside. We were doing a lot of outdoor comedy shows and like backyard comedy shows and secret comedy shows. But we were able to find a way to be creative with our comedic selves. And some of them were just content creators wanting to get into comedy. And we became a collective, so to say. So the second video that I did that went viral, I don't know if you have that one, the potato salad skit.
No, ma'am.
I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah,
Hey,
You
but
should have found that one.
yeah, I'm
That
about to
one,
say, yeah.
that one was like we put that out November, and that video, Ridiculousness reached out to me for that video, and I signed off on
Okay.
licensing for that. They have not aired it yet, so I'm hoping they air it maybe this year. But that was raisins in the. If you Google raisins and don't put raisins in the potato salad. So this was my concept, and I literally rented an Airbnb. I got all these food. I did all this stuff and had a whole spread. Had everybody come over, and we basically had pre-Thanksgiving. All the content creators came together. We must have shot like about 5 or 6 videos that night. But the main video we did was "Don't Put Raisins in the Potato Salad," and it was me and that young girl, and another guy playing her husband. I'm the mother, and I mean, you gotta see that video. That video, I got potato salad thrown on me. Like it was a whole fight.
Man,
I'm
hey,
surprised you didn't find that one.
y'all gets deep. Y'all, hey, I
yeah.
ain't gonna lie. What's it called? Hey, so are the are the other content creators are they all comedians or some of them actors? Cause y'all got some pretty
Yeah,
Some
good
of
acting
thank you.
skills.
Yeah, I'm all gonna ask you. You have some
some of them
some level of acting. Do you took some
some
level of acting, or you just improving?
I'm kind of a natural, I guess. A lot of it is like, so it's a lot of improv. Like there's no written dialogue. Like we give each other the premise and kind of like guide like each other. Like this is that. We give each other dots. Like we want to go here, here, and here. And by the time we end, we want to end like this. So when she was like, just don't get out the front seat and I'm gonna go back and forth with you. Like I didn't know he was gonna get out the car and all that stuff. It just kind of like we just get into character and the character takes over. So like with the potato salad, that's my favorite one because that was the video that I like kind of like in I kind of like imagined that video. I saw that video because number
You
one, I don't know if
felt
y'all
that.
remember. Yeah, that was like the experience, like because when you go over to some in-laws and they don't cook right, it just be like, why are we even here? Like, God damn,
Yeah,
we gotta be eating this shit again. This chick, So like, it was
yeah.
like, yo. And then I remember the movie. I think it was damn, who was in that movie? Don't put raisins in the potatoes. That's a movie. Don't put raisins in the potatoes. I want to say it was.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
know
remember
a
who's
movie
in
you
that
talking
movie.
about. Who
You know
you
what movie
talking about?
I'm talking about?
You talking about who made
Who
the
made
potato
the
salad?
potatoes? Who made the potato
Yeah,
salad? Who made the potato
yeah,
salad? Who made the potato
yeah.
salad? So
Oh,
I
you know
told
about that? I
everybody
don't
to
know it.
watch. Yeah, I told everybody that
I just
before doing
forgot.
the skit to watch that movie so that they can have an idea of what I was talking about. Because I said black families, whoever makes the potato salad and fucks it up is gonna be a problem. Furthermore, even if you put in anything other than potatoes, celery, not even like don't even put carrots in the motherfucking potato salad or peas or corn. Like that's not potato salad. So we wanted to drop that just during Thanksgiving and that shit that took me over the edge on TikTok. That got me monetization on TikTok. My TikTok it got 4 million views, I think. And
Mm,
after that it
That's
just got
Man,
shared like crazy. Um I did another video with Danny Deuces that got 6 million views.
okay.
Um and I did one of the ones and I like when I come up with the concept for a video and it goes crazy because I wanted to do one where I go to my Cougar Slayer's mom's house to meet his mom and she happens to be somebody I went to high school with. And I did that video probably like the beginning of this year and that went viral too. I think it got like two not no, I think I got 2 million views on my TikTok. So it's just been a wild ride. Like a lot of things that I've put my hand on has kind of gone by. Some haven't,
you
some
got that
have.
viral
It's been,
buzz. You caught
it's
that
a hit
mm-hmm.
or
viral
miss.
buzz. Once you caught it, you ain't lose it.
Hey, no.
Yeah,
Nah,
Hey, we're in the presence of a star. We're in the presence of a
yeah,
star.
well,
definitely.
well, from your lips to God's ears, I've auditioned for some things. I haven't gotten it, but I auditioned for a while now. I didn't get that. I'm just here. I'm here for the comedy. I'm here for the opportunity. And, we have these devices now where like we can create and make our own things happen. You know what I mean? We don't have to sit around and wait for anybody to discover us.
Mm-hmm. That's
We
right.
can help them to find us.
Mm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
my comedy grind is real. Like when I tell you my comedy grind is a little bit harder than my social media grind. I've been blessed with my social media, but like I tell you, like my heart is in comedy. Like stand-up comedy is my heart. But the bonus and the plus, of course, is doing movies because you can definitely get more notoriety, and more visibility and more money. You know what I mean? It's another stream of income on top of doing stand-up.
Definitely.
But
Yeah.
and speaking of your stand up comedy grind, and your basic focus on comedy, so solo by itself. I know you've seen a lot of stuff going on with comedians now, where they feel like society has become sensitive. That as a comedian, you can't really say what you want to say because
Go
fear of
ahead, talk about
backlash.
it. Talk about it.
Fear, fear,
You
fear,
Everybody's
already
been
you
fear,
already
talking
know where
about
he
it.
going with it. You already know where he going with it.
she already know what egg it up. But fear of backlash of something happening. Now we have comedians from Dave Chappelle early in the year saying stuff that he said to
They
in
trying to
recent
cancel him.
times to recent times with Chris Rock. And now, like I said, there's comedians coming out and saying, ever since the Chris Rock situation, they afraid to go on stage because they feel like they might say something to get slapped. So I'm asking you, the question I have for you as a comedian, do you feel like we are in sensitive times that you really have to watch what you say before you get on stage and say it?
Well, it's sad that we feel that way, but like, so we talk about comedy, right?
Mm.
Comedy is what we poke at the bear, right? We pick at things that people. So let me say this, because a lot of New York comics ain't afraid to say what the fuck they want to say. I'm gonna let you know that shit right now, and a lot of them ain't afraid to get for somebody to come up. They like, I dare you motherfuckers to fuck with me on stage. Because we get heckled a lot. We get it, and we give it. You know what I mean? So like looking at the art of comedy, comedians are known to roast. Like, so if you look at the Friars roast and a lot of these comedic roasts, when people roast one another, comedians roast one another and roast celebrities, that's what they do. That's what we do. Now, yes, certain topics, you can't talk about, it's even some, and comedians talk about the darkest shit. Like, I literally watched Corey Holcomb talk about abortion. Like, they talk about these topics that make people feel uncomfortable because it's our life. Like, it happens. Now, as far as Chris
Mm-hmm.
Rock and what he said, I don't think it was the most detrimental thing that he said. I think it was the compliment. He compared Jada Pinkett Smith to fucking Demi Moore. Demi Moore is a fucking, like, back in her days, she was the original Cougar Slayer, back one of the original Cougar Slayers back in the day. She left Bruce Willis for Ashton Kutcher. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's, you know and yeah, he kind of compared her a little bit to her because she fuck with August after messing with Will. Like, she was another little Cougar Slayer too with her young old ass. Listen, I just think that we as comedians, this 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 is a softer, kinder, like, pussy world. It's getting real pussy. It's getting real pussy. Everybody's sensitive. You can't say nothing. Everybody, it's like y'all punking up in this world now. Now y'all got to get a little tough skin and deal with it. Like, stop. Like, I get the fact that we can't be completely offensive to certain lifestyles and stuff like that, but like, come on, like, dude, she kind of like G.I. Jane would have been a come up for her. G.I. Jane 2 would have been a come up for her because to me personally, and I was saying this in a couple of lives, I feel like, when one celebrity is on top in a relationship and another one is just straddling along, it's like they like Ike and Tina, but Will is like Tina and Jade is like Ike. That bitch is like giving him a hard ass time because she's not on top like he is. And that's just how I feel. That's my feeling. And Jada can do whatever she wants. Because I met her before. I asked her to sign an autograph. I asked her to put my name on the autograph, and she just wrote Jada. So like she's very self-centered. She couldn't even put my name on the autograph.
Wow.
Man.
That's
I
that's
said
an
it,
amazing
Jada.
Hell,
that's
well,
an amazing thing.
I don't know, but I remember I was telling you, I remember I seen, a live earlier that you was talking about I was briefly touching on this topic, that was going on, and I put on there that I could see, why, it would be offensive to somebody, because at the end of the day, I mean personally, I really wouldn't probably have took it no type of way, but you never really know exactly how somebody would take something.
But
So
look at her reaction after he got slapped. Like there was no
yeah,
like
no shit.
it was like come on, dude. Like not everybody knew she had alopecia. A lot of comics that I've been on live with did not. We don't watch Red Table Talk. It's not one of them shows that anybody's really interested in. Like,
Yeah, ain't too many
and I
people
know
watching
some
it.
people would say like, oh well, women need to stick up for women. Let me say this, right? And I've been saying this a lot. Women have a way of putting a battery in a man's back at the wrong time. So there was and I'm not saying that this is what Will did or this is, but Jada did kind of her reaction made him react, right? Am I
Mm-hmm.
right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
That's facts.
So she was offended. He was laughing. When he looked over and saw her not laughing, he was like, oh man, my girl ain't feeling this shit. I gotta go, do something. But he really didn't have to think he had to go do something because really you're on a public, you are a fucking star at one of the biggest awards show in the fucking United States, where
Right.
where you are being honored, like you are winning best actor, like you have the opportunity to win this award, like you're a real good contender this year, homie, and you're gonna go slap this man's face and take that away, take that shine off of you and tarnish it. That to me was like Jada like putting a battery in his back so that he could disgrace himself, and everything that he worked so hard for was taken away because of how she felt as opposed to how he should have dealt with it. And I'm gonna say this: there's a lot of times when men, and I'm not saying every woman does this, but there was an incident in New York where a man was not wearing a face mask. The woman walked up to the man was too close to the woman. She felt some kind of way. She went and told her man, "Oh, this guy is in my face, whatever she said to him, to put the battery in his back, to have him go get the gun and go back into CVS and shoot this nigga because his girl was pissed off."
All
So
because he
my
didn't have
whole
a mask
thing,
on.
because he didn't have a mask on and she felt some kind of way. So every time a woman feels some kind of way, and it's because she's interacting with a man who she can't beat. She gonna go get her man and either get that nigga locked up, killed, or something. Now, this is not the same situation with Will because Will ain't get locked up or killed, but Will has gotten things taken away from him because of that
Mm-hmm.
situation now. So now Netflix canceled one of his movies that he was supposed to do. Supposedly he's resigning from the Academy Award Guild.
Yeah, I heard that.
There's a lot of repercussions behind that behavior that he would have been on such a high for winning this award because he came out of his character, or maybe or maybe whatever, like everybody said, the straw that broke the camel back. It broke the camel's back at the wrong time.
Mm.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah, nah,
I got
man.
a question. Uh, do you feel that he was right or wrong?
Will Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
he was wrong.
Okay.
He was absolutely to put your hands. If anybody at my place of work, where I work full time, I work in a hospital. Where I work, if somebody puts their hands on me in my job, they're going to jail. They're going to get a felony charge for assaulting a healthcare worker. If you put your hands on a bus driver, you're going to jail for assaulting a bus driver. If you put your hands on a flight attendant, you're going to jail for assault. And and it's a felony charge. So I'm not saying that Will should have a felony charge, but your actions, just because somebody made a joke that was off-putting to you, nobody else saw it that way because your wife has alopecia. Not everybody in the world knew this. Everybody thinks she got a badass cut. Like, I've shaved my head on bald before, like all the way bald, low ass Caesar. And people had shit to say about that shit when I did it. You know what I mean? But I didn't take offense to it to the point where I felt like I had to have somebody go slap somebody because of what they said. Nobody should ever have to put their hands on somebody for something that somebody says. Talent said it best. Sticks and stones may hurt us, but words will never hurt us. But sticks and stones will hurt us. So like, words come out. It may sting a little bit, but you'll get over it. But it's not like putting your hands on somebody. Putting your hands on somebody just ends the whole situation, and it ended a lot of shit for Will. For a lot of comedians, Will don't look good. And if you guys see Tony Rock's reaction, somebody, and I put it in my story on Instagram, somebody take Tony Rock getting on stage. I think this was his first time on stage since the incident, and he was like, "Yo, this ain't the Oscars." I will pop. He was like, "Yo," and it's a lot of rock. He was popping wild shit. It's a lot of rock brothers. Like we'll pop a nigga. So I just think it was whack.
The thing that gets me to what I'm trying to understand is, like, when you're dealing with comedy and comedians, it's already consensus when you sign up. When you go, you say, I'm paying a ticket to go to this comedy event. I'm paying. If a host is a comedian, it's already a sense it's supposed to be laughter, joy, and stuff like that. I don't get how you go from, in your mind, it's supposed to be laughter and joy, to I'm angry, I'm hurt, and all of this different stuff. When the whole concept is to laugh and have fun. So that's my whole thing. When you signing up to go to that, you should have that mentality throughout the show, that it's just jokes. I came here to laugh. It's just like you got there and forgot the reason that you came. So I don't really get why society getting so sensitive now.
Yeah.
And everybody knows, like, don't sit in the front seat. If I sit in the front seat, they're gonna say something.
Thank you.
Like y'all know that already. Y'all know that already.
Even I don't know. I even tried. I remember New Year's Day. I went to a comedy show New Year's Day. What is it called? Me and the female I was with. I tried to pick seats where we sat in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Where it was still good seats, but seats where it was like in the cut. And you know what I'm saying? They still pointed us out. They was, because I had my mask on, she had her mask off. They was like, "Oh, look at them having this mask on. They must don't know each other right there." You know what I'm saying? They must not be familiar with each other. I'm like, I said,
we say stuff like, and a lot of times too, like one time I saw a couple in the audience, and homegirls, like, dude is sitting next to his girls and all her tits is out. Like, I couldn't help it. I was like, oh my God, like damn, you just got them shits out like that. Like, like, them shits is amazing. I said, what y'all doing after the show? Cause she already got half her shit. Like, you can't. We as comedians are observational. Like, we see stuff, and in our mind, it's like automatically there's a joke brewing in our head, and it's just gonna pop out. So like, I'm learning, because I'm starting to do a lot. I'm learning a lot more now that I'm hosting, so that I'm not so much in tune to my set. Like, I'm playing with the audience, and I'm having a good time with them. Like, you see something, like anytime I see anybody with some animal print on at a show, that's like, because I wear a lot of leopard print, and as a, because I embody this image of a cougar. So I'm always, this is the bag I sell my merchandise in. I always got shit like this. So anytime I see a chick with shit like this, I'm like, yes, sis, you got your cougarism coming out. Like, cougars don't have stripes. When we wear any goddamn animal print, cheetah, giraffe, it's just something that we placate to when we see things in the audience that will kind of work and bring people in. We like, comedy is like a contact sport without touching each other. The contact is laughter. We say something that touches you, that brings out laughter. and as comedians, like we will talk about the most tragic shit in our life. Like we talk about tragedy. I call my comedy journey turning tragedy into triumph. And you know and it's funny too because as comedians you got the mask, the crying, the laughter, you know. So it's like I got laugh now, cry later. Like I got that shit on my arm. Like I don't know if y'all can see it, but like
Okay.
we laugh and we cry. Comedy, you laugh so hard you cry. Like you laugh at the shit that makes you like I talk about my hemorrhoids. That shit is painful, but it's fucking funny. Shit.
And I think that's the premise, and I feel like, and if I say I feel like people forget, like you have to be able to laugh at yourself, even
Yeah,
as a
facts.
comedian, you know, laugh at yourself. So if you in the audience sitting on the front row and he point, you got to be able to take the joke, ha ha, laugh at myself, and let the person go on with
Yeah.
the show. Like I don't get it. Like I really don't get why all this hostility at a place where you're supposed to be laughing. Where's the hostility coming from?
And some people be mad, angry, yo. If you don't even know. Like I've dealt with some angry. I'll be like, yo, why did you even come here? Like I remember one time, and it was funny as hell. Like during our show, it was the family came after a funeral, and they couldn't sit in the diner. There was no seats in the diner, so they came into the comedy show after the funeral, and they had the best fucking
Damn.
time after the funeral. Like you done bury somebody, and y'all in here getting drunk up and laughing because the pain needs laughter. That's what you're
No,
going through. So like that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. People that will really just like, regardless of what you're going through, comedy's supposed to be an escape. To laugh at your stupid
yeah,
shit.
it's real life. It's real life. It's real life shit. You know, a lot of comics turn real life shit into, laughter. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they was even able to come in there, they was able to come in there, even though a lot of people, we don't like going to funerals, but it's a part of life. But you go to a comic show afterwards, and get some laughs off, get your mind off of all the bullshit that you're dealing with, and it's just a way to really just escape. So I mean, it all really depends on the people.
Let me tell you something. I had the most tragic situation happen to me. In 2019, I was doing my birthday show. Um, my niece went missing, and I didn't know during the show. My brother and my brother was calling my mom. We left the show after I did my birthday show. We left the show, couldn't find my niece. We reported her missing. Police found her the next day in the hospital. She had committed suicide. It
Damn.
took me four. It took me. That was December. December. I didn't go on stage January. I went on stage February, just before the world shut down. After I got this tattoo, laugh now, cry later, and I put the comedy mic, and then I wound up getting a portrait on my arm. So when I tell you that was like this was just before, and I got back up on stage in February, to not necessarily celebrate my first year of comedy, but just to put myself back out there and say, yo, you got to do this. And I feel like ever since I got back into comedy, it's like I feel like that her spirit and a lot of other spirits have like pushed me to do more, and to get, and have helped me along this journey to get some of the things that I got in 2020. Um, and I just know that, the sky's the limit, regardless of what you go through. Everybody has something that kind of weighs them down, and it's something that not only can it weigh you down, but it can also inspire you to push harder to get what you want. And that's kind of like, and I say that to say, like, you just never know what somebody's going through in life, and I still smile through the pain. You know what I mean? And Jada could have just took that. It's not like she got somebody, and it kills me when people say, like, well, people got cancer, and they losing their hair. She don't got cancer, yo. She's not, it's not chemotherapy. Alopecia is not
Hmm.
a sickness, it's a condition. So let's
Mm-hmm.
not compare it. Let's not make it be bigger than what it is. You know what I mean? It's a condition. and everybody didn't know it. And let's be clear, Chris Rock didn't even write that joke.
Oh, that's you beat me to the question. I was gonna ask you, do you feel, since you do improv, and do you feel like he wrote it, or
I
that's
know
something he was
for a
off the cuff?
fact. I know for a fact he didn't write that joke.
Okay.
And I know one of Chris Rock's joke writers. My guy out in Brooklyn. Um, his Brooklyn Mike Troy. He writes with Tony Rock. He's on tour with Tony Rock. I was with him last night, as a matter of fact, because I DM'd him way before when this shit happened. I was like, "Yo, did you write that joke?" He's like, "Nah, what do you mean? Was that real?" Like, I got buddies in comedy that are in high places.
Hmm.
Like, that rub elbows with people. Like, that's one of the things, and I'm grateful for these friendships that I have. Like, because he did my birth, he did my anniversary comedy show when I celebrated 3 years in comedy back in February. So I reached out to him. I asked questions. I'm nosy as shit, and he said, "No, it wasn't." But it wasn't. But and a lot of these comedians that are at Chris Rock's level now have teams of writers. Kevin
Mm.
Hart, they all have teams. Like, you have a collective. Like, people have given me jokes. People be sending want me to do certain jokes. They be sending me jokes or giving me ideas, and I kind of like, and I'll use it or I won't use it. You know what I mean? But a lot of my material right now, because I'm still young in the game, have come from my real life experience. Like,
Hmm.
me talking about being an essential worker during the pandemic, hating my day job. Like, it's real. I don't like it. I'd rather do stand up comedy. Like, me finding out, I didn't start out comedy as the Cougar of comedy. That Cougar shit happened by accident. I was 48 when I started comedy, and that was February. By September, I found out I was a cougar when this young nigga walked up to me and started hollering. I'm like, "Oh, word! This is what life is like now at 48. Dudes at 24 come up to you and we want to take you out and shit." So it really it's and I exaggerated, but comedy is exaggeration of life. So, like, I talk about that whole situation, and I'm having fun with it. So now everybody wants to take me out and ask me how young I date. I'm like, "Yo, I'm not dating anybody right now. I'm dating comedy right now."
Yeah, I definitely was about to ask you, did you go out with him?
I did,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay, okay.
Listen, he at first, we be like, and I literally say this in my set. Women be like, "Girl, boy, if you don't get out of my face," I didn't tell them to get out of my face, but I use it in my joke because it's funny. But I was like, "Nah, nah." I'm like, I'm nah, 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 nah. I'm like on some nah shit, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it.
I mean,
You
And
only live
that's what.
once.
Go ahead, Timo.
I was about to say, and you know what the funny part about it is? I was just gonna ask you because you told us about your backstory when it came to the comedy, but I was gonna ask you what made you, come up with the, Christine the Cougar, the
It
comedy
came from that.
Cougar.
It came from that joke, and 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 the cougar thing came from that joke, and then me realizing, like, the gray hair, a woman of a certain age, and when I turned 50, it really became real because I'm like, okay, all right. And I was actually calling myself Christine the Cougar, the Cougar. I was calling myself the Cougar of comedy. And I Googled Cougar of comedy because I was going to trademark it, and I realized it was already trademarked by somebody else. And she was gonna send me a cease and desist,
Mm.
um, because but I wound up getting to know her because people don't realize, like, you just don't know. I didn't know somebody else had the moniker, and I didn't know it was copyrighted. So I stopped using it. You know what I mean? It was easier for me to stop using it and just look at, I'm Christine. I'm the comedy cougar. I'm not the cougar of comedy.
Mhm.
So it's just, it's all words. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, who knows how long I'll be the cougar of comedy? I just might be just go back to being comedian Christine again, Christine Hanchard. But right now, the cougar thing, I like it. I think, and the funny thing is too, like, there was a cougar way before me and way before her.
Okay.
Mom's Mabley, the comedy great. She did the most. She has appeared at the Apollo the most times. And when I'm looking back at her, my mom was like, your grandfather loved Mom's Mabley. And if you look, and I'm gonna start listening to some more of her comedy because I was watching a show called the Mrs. Maisel, the and the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, something like that. It's on Netflix, and she's a woman that was in the '50s, started doing comedy, and um, Wanda Sykes played Mom's Mabley on that show, and I was looking at some of the content the jokes that she was saying, and then I looked up Mom's Mabel and found out she did the most appearances at the Apollo, one of the highest paid female comics at the time, the highest paid female comic at the time. And she was a cougar, but she didn't call herself a cougar. She talked about dating young guys. And one of the things that she said is the only thing an old man can do for me is introduce me to a young man.
Whoa,
But
whoa.
So
that line right there, that you said, it kind of transitioned me into my question I had for you also, because when you say the cougar, the comedy cougar, when you say, okay, I didn't really get it because I'm trying to attract younger attention. That's just off of my moniker of what I wanted to be. But when you changed it, I seen, and I told Timo, I seen like the little video that you put up. I think it was like three guys in the room and they was fixing the window, and you was like, oh, I'm a cougar, and I said, oh,
and
she's playing off
that
of that.
was just some, they were really putting my window in. And I was
Mm-hmm.
having fun with them because the window guy and everybody said I was harassing them. And, everybody got some shit to say. Like that's reverse race. That's reverse harassment. Like, how would you like it if somebody, they do it to us anyway? What do you mean by how would I like it? And they were having fun with me. And I literally, they had a couple of drinks and thank you for putting the window in. The guy's been working in the building for years. We know him. And I was like, yo, can I video you guys? Can I? And you ask permission.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I
Mm-hmm.
was just saying some slick stuff, but it was
Yeah.
fun. A lot of things happen spontaneously, and the cougar thing. I don't even know honestly what day I decided to talk about that date on stage, but I decided to talk about it on stage, and I thought it was fucking hilarious, and I've been expanding it, and it has gone from one thing. I think when I first told that date joke to how I tell it now, there's a whole act out. I'm doing all this physical comedy now. Like, I wasn't doing physical comedy before. Like, I've grown as a comedian, and I like how I'm growing into, like, I'm looking at all the people that I loved as comedians as growing up. You talk about Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett, Whoopi Goldberg, and some of the physical comedy, like Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball did some real physical comedy, like comedy sketch, comedy acting, and those were some real OG comedians. Like, and I say them because that's just who we watched growing up. Like, you remember, like, TV was all white, so this is what we were watching. Benny Hill, Richard Pryor, like that's what my brothers was watching. So like I'm watching Benny Hill with my brothers and shit, all that stupid shit Benny Hill would do. It's now I found out about who my granddad liked, Mom's Mabel. So I'm just gonna, I'm a fan of comedy first and foremost. When I say I'm a fan, like I'm a big fan. I got the privilege and the honor to perform in front of Bob Sumner
Okay.
yesterday. No, this was yesterday was Friday. Thursday, Bob Sumner has booked some of the biggest comedians for Def Comedy Jam. Kid Capri is starting something similar to, but they're calling it Kid Capri's Comedy Block Party. So Bob Sumner is out in Jersey at this black-owned comedy club called Aruga's looking for talent. And I believe Kid Capri signed a deal with Showtime. So Bob Sumner gave me his card. He liked what he saw. So there's a new, and they're looking for new comedians, and I'm a woman of a certain age. Like, I should be considered old, but I'm new because I just started comedy 3 years ago. And my perspective, my comedy perspective is coming from a voice of a woman of a certain age, but still new to comedy. And I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad I got the opportunity, because who knows what is going to happen next. Like, they're looking to put some of these young comics, and a lot of older comics are saying, oh, comedy is so saturated, everybody's calling themselves a comedian because of social media.
There you go. Okay.
So I'm going to say this, because I'm so grateful the producers gave me the copy of the interview that I had with Darnell, because I can always look back on it. Darnell said to me that he had a friend that said she was a comedian, but when she said, so where are you performing at? Oh, she said, you can see my stuff on YouTube. He said, but that's not comedy. But when you look at the definition of comedian, it says someone who performs to make someone laugh, or entertains and make someone laugh. So the art of comedy is a person that entertains, regardless of what platform you do it on, whether it's social media, TV, you have comedic actors. But the true essence of comedy for stand-up comics, this is for stand-up comics, is you, the mic, and the audience. There's nothing like that. Like, skits are great. I love them. But that intimacy of getting in front of an audience, as scared as I may be sometimes, butterflies flopping around in my stomach. I still may have an off night where the audience don't like me, or they think I suck or whatever. Like, it happens. Look at Tiffany Haddish. Shit. A lot of them blow sometimes, but for me, that is the essence of comedy. But comedy is a art form that has so many different layers to it.
Yeah, that's and for me, I'm glad you brought it up, because I feel like when you're saying the different layers and essence of it, I feel like just because you're a comedian or consider yourself funny does not mean that you are funny on every level. It's some people that are funny doing skits, but if they try to do stand up, they're not funny at all. And there's some people that's good at stand up, they can't do skits or anything in the social media world.
Right.
But I still feel like you say it's still different forms of comedy, and their ultimate goal is to make people laugh. So I do agree with that statement. I still feel it's all comedy.
It's all comedy. Like, that's the definition. And I'm gonna say this. It's like in a lot of comedians that are real stand-up comics, they don't like social media. Like, some of them will look at me and think that I'm a social media comic, and I have to tell them, like, yo, I'm not. This social media shit happened by accident. Like, the beginning of the year, I started on Instagram with 7,000 followers, right? I was feeling good. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get 10,000 by the end of this year. I'm gonna have 10,000. I did this stupid ass video, stupid reel, that talking about my lips. You should see the other ones, huh? That shit got. I have almost 35,000 followers now. That shit got 2 million views on Instagram. My Instagram has gone crazy, and since January. Like, I've gotten it's and it's kind of scary too, because that's not really comedy. That's like more sexual. But I'm like, fucking, I'm here for everything. I'm here for the sex.
I'm about to say that plays into that plays into that Cougar that, you know what I'm saying, that Cougar thing that you got going on right there.
Listen, black don't crack, and I'm embracing. I feel good at 51. I feel good at 51. If everybody could feel the way I feel, like, I believe in taking care of myself. Like, I was a girl that was 250 pounds. I'm down to 170 now. Like, I have done a lot to put my life kind of like in a healthy perspective. Like, I go to the doctor. I maintain my weight. I did some things to lose weight. Not to say that I got everything cut out of me, but like, I was 250 pounds. I had the gastric sleeve surgery 2011. I lost over 100 pounds. Like, when you feel that you have to do something to make yourself feel good about you, it's not about what anybody else thinks about you. It's how you feel about you. And because I had lost so much weight, they had to remove some of my skin. So I had a tummy tuck. Yes. So like y'all
Okay.
hating that shit. Like these are the things that I did, and my insurance paid for it. Like I had to go DR and get on the fucking what you call it, the meat market and get shit cut out of me. Like I did it the healthy way. Um and however you choose to do it, I'm not mad at anybody for doing what they do with themselves. You know what I mean? If you want to get a butt lift, do what you want to do. I'm here for whatever somebody wants to do to make themselves feel good about you. Just be careful. That's all I ever say to somebody. I'm a woman. I'm very transparent about the things that I've gone through. I'm very transparent about the things that I've done. Um, and I'm just like, and I'm an advocate for Black people talking about depression and what they're going through, because I don't want any young kid to end up like my niece did, having epilepsy and having to take medications that cause her not to think that she was worthy enough to continue her life. So like, and I know what it's like to be in that dark place, not liking who you are for whatever reason, and not wanting to feel like you have anything to contribute to this world. Always feel like you have something to contribute, and always tell somebody what's going on with you, because there's always somebody that's willing to help, and there's always somebody that's willing to listen.
Yeah, we definitely on this platform, we always put self-love, self-care. Make sure that you good with yourself mentally, because a lot of people put on, they make sure they outside are taking care, but mentally their mind's not always all the way together. So self-care mentally and physically, make sure you good and keep yourself up. And as long as you happy with what you see in the mirror, it does not matter what anybody else thinks. It's all to your own ultimate satisfaction of yourself. But the another question I have for you too, like you say, you just mentioned, you have to be open and honest about different stuff that you do, in your life, and you may add that to your story on the stage. And so also, like, if people may deal with you, like you say, you may talk about previous relationships or whatever it is. Do you feel like now that you're a comedian and people know that you might go on stage and tell a funny story that happened, they kind of more reserved, like, I can't really do what I want to do. She might make a bit about me. Have you run across that yet?
Honestly, I haven't. I mean, you would think, but no, like I haven't. And I've met some people that are of the industry, and I know a lot of people. I mean, I've moved around. Um, I'm I grew up in Mount Vernon when hip hop was popping. So like I went to school with Pete Rock and a couple of Hebs dancers and like, so, and I'm still cool friends with these people. Like I mean Case, like I've always been of the entertainment world. So I know a lot of people, but there's just certain things that you have a level of respect for that you wouldn't want to like put out there. Like anybody, there's some shit that I do talk about. There's some shit I talk about the dysfunctional men. I talk about, the guy that likes sucking toes. I may not say who he is, but like he know who
I
he
told
is.
y'all.
Suck toes on the first date, that
You
nigga
told us
did,
what, brother?
I told y'all they be talking about bad about y'all sucking them toes.
On the
I know.
first
Hey,
date.
are you talking bad about him, or you just are
No,
you
no, no.
talking
I'm
bad when
just saying, like, you just need to know, like, it felt good, but you need to know something wrong with them. If you suck toes on the first date, he may have a lot of
yeah,
shit with him, because he might not be just sucking your toes. He got like the one I had like 2, 3 girlfriends.
Message.
Might
Message.
got he might got a foot fetish or something. I don't know. You
That
don't know
that
what
I
that.
talk about red flags in a relationship. So that's my red flag joke is about a relationship where I should have paid attention to the red flags. And one of the red flags is that he sucked my toes on the first date. A nigga that stuck your toes, a red flag, bitch. That's too soon to be sucking toes. I ain't saying you can't suck toes, but the first date, the nigga sucking your toes. He
Well,
Hey,
didn't even get to know. He didn't even know if he had a fucking manicure that day or not. Like he might just get a whole mouthful of jam. Like.
I was about to say, shit, damn. If he don't, you know what I'm saying? At least let him look pretty.
No,
hey,
but that's
Miss,
my shit. That's my shit though. That's
hey, Miss
just.
Christine, we did a live last night, you know, and it was this man and this lady. It was on T-Mo page, if anybody ain't seen it. It was on T-Mo page. And the dude had his girl in a dog cage.
Oh,
with a
she did she have on like cat thing or something like that?
yeah,
Yeah, she
like
has
the
The one with
little
the
little
cat
cat
little
joints
ears,
tail,
with
whatever
the
it
dog
is. Yeah.
tail in the
dog
back.
tail, whatever. Yeah, I think I seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you love a man enough to do that for him?
No, fucking no,
You saying
fucking
you
no,
saying you're not
nigga. No,
into
you're not putting
the
me.
role playing?
No, you're not putting me in a cage, homie. Like I'll put on the outfit all day long, but we're not. I will let you choke me. Maybe you can cuff one hand, but one hand gotta be free with the key in it, because I gotta be able to unlock myself. Like you're not gonna lock me all the way up with both. One hand gotta be free with the key. Where the key? Now, I mean, I'm all for like spicing it up. You know what I mean? But you ain't gonna actually put you in no fucking baby diapers and give you a bottle of shit, nigga. No, we're not doing that. Like
and
you could put on a Superman cape and a G-string and jump off the fucking dresser onto the bed. You can do some shit like that. Like don't fucking put on no fucking diapers and act like we two when you want me to fucking. And the funny thing is, I did a skit like that where I was still breastfeeding my son.
Oh yeah.
Daniel, I don't know if you guys know Daniel Jean. He's one of the content creators out here in New York. He's always doing some crazy shit. And he had an influencer party the other day. And I was invited. I didn't know I was an influencer. I felt so amazing. I was like, oh, look at this. I'm around all these influencers. And we did a couple of things together. And one of them was like we played this awkward mother and son relationship where I was in the bathroom with him while he was taking a shit. I was feeding
Oh yeah.
him. And the
oh yeah, I
last
seen
one
one.
was
Yeah,
I was breastfeeding
breastfeeding them.
him.
And then the girl walks in on it. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
I'm like, y'all is weird as shit. I'm out of here. And that's Sarah. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of stuff with her. Like we all come together periodically when we have these ideas. One of the person I've worked with most recently, and I haven't even dropped that video. I have videos in my phone that I haven't even dropped yet, because I'm very meticulous about because I'm not somebody that drops every day. I'm somebody that drops like every week when I decide to. And Jordan Jackson is one of my favorite people to work with. He's on tour with Country Wayne right now. He just
Okay.
came into New York for a hot second. Country Wayne did the Apollo, and I had the opportunity to go, but I had a show that night. I was so mad I couldn't get in. By the time I got there, the show was over. But I wound up doing a quick skit with him before he left New York. So he's one of the people that I like working with too. Jordan Jackson. He's hilarious. He looks like Jimmy Walker. I did a skit with him with my Cougar Slayer shirt, and everybody loves that shirt. I thought somebody was gonna say
Were you
something.
about to say something, Noah?
You said Cougar Slayer shirt?
Yeah, I have my
No,
my brand.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. Say your brand.
No, I'm saying my comedy brand, as far as like the male line of clothes, is Cougar Slayers. I have my hoodie on today. I don't know if I still have it over here. I was wearing it.
Where's it at?
I was wearing it earlier. Oh my God. I think I took it. I
might
wanted
need
to
to tell
wear.
me.
So
You might need to tell me where the link is at. You might need to tell me where the link is at.
I'm gonna put it together. Like I'm trying to get this whole situation together. Like I'm a work in progress right now. So for the women, it's Cougar Life, and for the men, it's Cougar Slayer. And so this is one of the things. This is one of my prototypes right now, and I have a T-shirt too. So this is the Cougar Slayer. Let me make sure I get it in the camera. This is the Cougar Slayer shirt.
I got.
Oh, okay. Seymour gonna order too. He's a Cougar lover.
Hey, see.
He's a Cougar lover. Cougar lover.
This is for the men, and for the women, and I was gonna wear my shirt, but I just felt like wearing my Mount Vernon versus everybody shirt today. Okay. So for the women, it's and I, you know what? And the funny thing is when I did the thing with Darnell, he liked the idea of the Cougar whole thing. He was like, I don't hear anybody really talking about it. I mean, people talk about it, but the whole Cougarism thing, he kind of thought it was cool. I literally just had this shirt in my hand earlier. Oh, there it goes. This is one of my other prototypes that I did, but I have these shirts, but these are some of the ones that I mocked up for myself that I was wearing. And this is the Cougarism. And my comedy brand, 914 Stand Up, because Money Earned in Mount Vernon represent.
Oh, I like
And
that
but
one.
I'm also gonna do Cougar Life. So like I'm in a lot of these designs I did myself actually. I'm a graphic artist, so I'm Jamaican, so I have a lot of jobs. I'm a home health aide, makeup artist, secretary, comedian, cook. I paint, I draw, I sew, I do hair, cosmetologist, nail technician.
Oh, so you multi-talented.
Yeah, I'm confused as shit. This is a sad situation. I do,
Right?
when you master, and I like the quote says master. I'm what is it? A master of all trades, but a master of none is better than a master of one. People
Mm-hmm.
forget,
Okay.
don't talk about that last part.
Hey, I got another shirt you should make then. A
What's that?
multi-talented cougar.
Multifaceted
Yeah, uh-huh.
bitch.
There you go, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that's a good one right there.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
that,
That is.
and I have a few. And I miss talking about my fupa because I RIP'd the fupa when I had the tummy tuck. But I have
Mm.
a fupa shirt too. Shout out to the women that have fupas. Fupas need love too. I still represent my fupa ladies.
Mm. Yeah, and the only thing I want, because like I said, you was mentioning your the comedians in the past, and like you said, you're technically a new comedian. So if you can, list off some of the comedians that inspired you from the past, and then some of the new comedians also that you're working with now that you want to give a shout out to as well.
So I would say from growing up watching comedy because of my brother, and my brother, rest in peace to my brother Lukey. I love you to death. Um, he was my biggest cheerleader, and he would always like he would be the one like kind of like introducing us to a lot of shit that we should be watching. And I miss my brother so much. He died pretty 13 years ago, but he would have us watching Richard Pryor, um 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 Red Fox, um
Mm-hmm.
Robin Harris, um Whoopi Goldberg. I'm just trying to think of like all the comedians. Andrew Dice Clay, um,
Mm-hmm.
Guilford Godfrey, Sam Kinison. Like it's so many I'm telling you, we watched comedy in my house. Like comedy was like a staple in my house. It wasn't like just one comic per se. Eddie Murphy. Um, Now, as far as like some of the comedians that you guys may not know about that have inspired me, and first and foremost, my dear friend Omar Thompson, that kind of like did a set that kind of made me feel like I had the ability to probably try to do comedy, and I had a conversation with him that night. Darnell Rollins, and I say that because he performed at Salsa one night, and he couldn't. The crowd wasn't agreeable. He
Mm.
got off stage
I
and
think I
said,
seen
"Y'all
that.
niggas."
I think I know what you're talking
He
about. Yeah.
he got off stage and left the mic on the stage and started walking around the tables in salsa that night and just talking to everybody, and that shit blew my mind. So Darnell Rollins, and the fact that I had an opportunity to sit with him for over 45 minutes just talking about comedy, him
Mm.
telling me that what he saw that I could possibly do if I kept doing it. And he started comedy late. He started comedy out being a heckler, by the way. He was
Oh,
a
Darnell
heckler.
did.
He
I
started
didn't
out
know that.
comedy. He started out comedy late, and he started out comedy being a heckler. He was a professional heckler. Had a day job. Used to go to the comedy club all the time, heckling the comedians. Until one time, the comedy the owner or whoever at the club said, "Yo, why don't you come one night and do it?" and he literally didn't have a entirely good set, but he kept. I think the second. I don't remember the story exactly, but I know it wasn't too good. But then he got into it and he started ripping it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he started out kind of rough, but he went on to like kill it that night, and he was doing it ever since until he left his day job. So like I'm just hoping that I continue to do it until I'm able to leave my day job. But as far as New York comics, like the underrated comic that a lot of people are sleeping on right now is my mentor Smokey Suarez.
Okay.
A lot of people don't remember, or people do when they hear him. His first movie he did was the first movie Kevin Hart did, was Paper Soldiers, written
Okay.
by
Okay.
that movie was written by Charlie Murphy. Paper Soldiers. If anybody ever seen Paper Soldiers, you got to watch Paper Soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
My Paper
Um,
Soldiers. Yeah.
Kevin Hart was in that movie. Um, Smokey and Capone was in that movie. That's off the top of the head that I can remember right now. Um, Capone too. Capone is one of the guys that like I look at as far as like somebody that you would want to like that he's a beast as far as like his business sense, because you are your business. Like I am, once I get my shit together, like I am my LLC. Christine, comedian Christine Hanchurch is a business entity. And I look at how Capone does his stuff, and I wouldn't be wrong if I didn't represent the 914, Mount Vernon. The two comedians that have come out of Mount Vernon, to me, that have really like paved the way for a female comedian like me coming out of Mount Vernon, and I really want to represent them just as well, represent Mount Vernon just as well as they have, is JB Smooth and Talent.
JB. Okay. Okay. I know JB. Okay. Okay.
JB Smooth
Okay.
is
Okay.
money earning Mount Vernon's finest,
Mm.
and Talent is too. So when I look at and I've had the privilege to work with Talent. I was with Talent last night, and he's bringing me out to Florida on the 30th. And like I say in this game, like a closed mouth don't get fed. Like if you see an opportunity, a lot of people want people, like people don't realize when you start comedy, you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid.
Right.
The first year is like bumps and bruises. It's like a fraternity. You getting hazed your first year. You gotta show these niggas that you can do this shit. And
Mm-hmm.
and you might start getting money in your second year, you might not. Um I'm getting paid gigs now.
Mm.
And if I choose to do a free or open mic because I want to work out, I'll do it because I'm all about still networking. But like you gotta earn your stripes. Some people want this shit handed to them right away. Like, oh, people didn't understand when I was telling them I'm not getting paid for shit that I'm doing in comedy. They were like, well, how the fuck does that work?
Mm.
I'm like, yo, comedy is like that. Comedy is unlike any other. It's kind of like, I guess, rappers, so to say. Like these rappers just make their demos until they hit. Like you keep spending your money until you hit. Same thing. You keep spending your money until you putting gas in your car, going to paying toll, going to these places until like somebody really gets you an opportunity where you can be on tour with them. You
Mm.
know. So I would say for me, like back to Smokey, like that guy to me, he has dedicated himself to helping young comics. He is so underrated, but he is, when you see him, he is a beast. When I tell you, a beast on stage. He also did Death of a Dynasty, and a couple of things. And like I said, now that Dame Dash is back in the business, working hard with Fox Soul, putting some shit together. Y'all better watch out for Dame Dash is about to take over. He about to take over these streets again. And that's a smart guy too. Just because he gave up certain parts of Rockefeller, don't mean that he's dumb. He's so much a business savvy person.
That's facts.
That's
Mm. Yeah,
facts, though.
definitely.
I have a lot of respect for Dame Dash and what he's doing
Mm-hmm.
to because Smokey was working with him back then, you know what I mean, and he's reaching back out to him and trying to get him situated to where he needs to be. I had the opportunity to be on his stage when he taped his special, and he's gonna retape his special again and put a whole package together, and his special be out. So like I'm just here until I'm just here doing what I do until the opportunity presents itself to where I'm on a platform where I can get, like I've had conversations with Little Rel on live. He recognized me before I even, that's the dopest thing for me is when a comedian that I know that before I even introduce myself to them say, yeah, I know you, that girl from the videos. Like, stop.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is dope. When Tony Rock could say, yo, yeah, I know you from the videos. Where you performing at? That
That's
to
what's
me is
up.
dope.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely,
I'm so
definitely.
glad. I'm so glad we got an opportunity because you're gonna blow up this year. You're gonna blow up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
From
yeah.
your
You know
ma'am.
what I'm
lips,
saying?
I
Just
mean,
Yes,
every
ma'am.
year, every year has gotten better and better. I'm not mad at it. It's just a process. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nipsey Russell said, this is a marathon, yo. This ain't a race.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We
You
gotta
know,
keep
just it's
grinding.
all about understand. Yeah, all about understanding the process
Yeah.
for real. You know,
Mm-hmm.
patience is key. You know what I'm saying? So we love what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, before we even really came across your page, we've been saying your work. You know, the skits and all the other stuff. So yeah, just keep on going.
You know, that's
Thinking the
definitely a
shit
fact.
was real.
Nah, yeah, we argued
Yeah,
about
Nah,
that
that's
mother. We argued about that mother and her stepdaughter for like 2 hours.
yeah, we
But
definitely
I want to
did.
ask you a question about that because I didn't get to ask it when we first showed the clip. Who do you think was right or wrong in that situation?
Yeah, like what's your thoughts on that
Ex-wife
whole situation though?
or the mother?
So I was already in the front seat. I was sitting. You expect me to get up and get out and go sit in the back seat with your girlfriend? Like your girlfriend, go sit with your girlfriend. Because if I go in the back seat with your girlfriend, it ain't gonna be good. My knees bad. I don't need to be sitting in the tight ass back seat. Let the old lady stretch out.
Nah, don't worry about. Hey, Timo was advocating for you. Timo said no. She's not supposed to talk to the mother like that. She just
yes,
came off
sir.
real disrespectful.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's
My
COVID.
thing was just
And if she wanted to sit in the front, she could have told his ass to sit in the back with her girlfriend, so her girlfriend could have hollered at him and she drive.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I always thought what was up. What you know. I mean, I always really my thing was like if I'm in the car, even if I'm in the car with my lady and we pull up, even if I'm already in the front seat and her father walking up to the car, my first instinct is like, oh, to get out the car, go ahead, let them get the front seat, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying that's just usually,
Mm-hmm.
how I'm really just trained to do. If he
Yeah.
say, oh no 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 no, you can sit there, I'm like, then all right, then I'll go
Nah,
ahead and
I
stay in the front
assist.
seat.
No, that's true.
Then,
That's
but
true.
other than, but
But
we was going back
that's
and
how some
forth.
of us were raised. That's how some of us were
Mm-hmm.
raised. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay. So I was born in 1970. I came to this country. I'm from Jamaica, not from this country. I came to this country in 1975.
Okay.
So when we grew up, like we never questioned our elders. We didn't talk back
Mm-hmm.
to them. Whatever they said goes, even if they were wrong and we knew them motherfuckers was wrong, they was
Mm-hmm.
right. You know what I
That's right.
mean? Now, it's just a different generation. Like these kids, like they'll tell us like, oh, we're hurting their feelings. Like, bitch, I didn't have feelings when I was growing up. Matter of fact, would you like me to show you the belt my mother used to whip my feelings out my ass with? Like, yo, I used to go to school with whelps. Like, I couldn't call CPS on my mom's. These kids is punks. When I tell you these kids is punks, these
Mm-hmm.
kids is punks. I used to have to take mother money, like change out my mother's purse, so these kids would leave me alone. Like I used to bribe kids when I went to school. Like this, it was rough. These little bastards was rough growing up. Now,
Mm-hmm. That clip really showed us how the world done changed and people really disrespect the elders. There's no love for the elders no more.
and their reactions, some of their reactions is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I
really
laugh
love
at
that
it
clip.
now. Thank
Hey,
No,
that
you,
we
was a
love
good
thank
clip.
you.
that.
No, no, that was a good one right there because it really shows the modern times, how times really done changed from how it was in the old days.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
definitely,
mhm.
definitely,
Yep.
and we definitely appreciate you coming on. You're gonna have to definitely show me where the link is to get one of them Cougar Slave shirts.
There you
You're
go.
Cause
gonna.
There you
I'm.
go.
I'm
There
gonna.
you
I'm
go.
gonna. I'm gonna. I'm gonna get these shirts together. DM me your sizes. Where y'all from? Where y'all based out of?
DMV.
Oh,
Well,
we
I'm
in the
in Maryland.
DMV.
I'm in Maryland.
Yeah, we in
Nah,
the
Okay.
DMV area.
yeah, I'm
Okay,
in
I
North
got my.
Carolina.
Oh, you in North Carolina? My niece is out in North Carolina. She went to
Okay.
Duke University. Shout out to Duke. Did Duke win? Did we?
Nah,
Did
I
they?
just
They?
checked. They lost. They lost.
Ah, my niece is hurt right now. God
Mhm.
damn it! He said, "I
Hey, I'm
just
definitely gonna
checked."
start following you. I'm Butter TV. I'm
Mhm.
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
gonna
gonna
start
follow. I'm
following.
gonna follow all of y'all, and
Yes, ma'am.
y'all get me y'all sizes and y'all addresses, and I'll gift y'all one.
Oh, thank you so very
Thank
much.
you.
I
Thank
will
you
Most
so much.
definitely.
definitely, yeah,
Most
Yeah.
I'll
definitely.
gift y'all one.
And we
Oh,
Any
we
and
got
look
stars
and
sending this
anything
stuff.
we
after the
Oh, we got
first
hey
stars
one,
sending this stuff, y'all. We special men. We got stars sending this stuff.
yeah, the
and
first one is free.
Thank you so very
oh,
much.
hey,
I
appreciate
like
that.
that one. I like that one.
Me and Butter, we plan on me and Butter, we definitely plan on. You gotta let us know because we gonna try. We definitely gonna make one of your shows. We're gonna make
Yeah,
one of your shows whenever
I've been out to I've been out to Maryland. I was out there not too long ago. I pop out every now and then. I was out in Philly not too long ago. They're trying to get me to come back out to Philly too. And I have a friend that's out there in Maryland. So you guys know Timmy Hall, comedian
you
Timmy
said Timmy
Hall. He
Hall.
does he does
It
he
sound familiar. The name
It
sound
sounds
familiar.
familiar. See,
I
see, see.
think he's
We
I think he's
yeah.
DC. I think he's in DC, and I think he does Magoobies. You know Magoobies Comedy Club, something like that.
Mm.
I think there's a club out there, and he's trying to get me to come out there. So I'll definitely, like I said, we're connected now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I mean,
And if you ain't doing nothing on July the 17th, we're gonna have a live podcast. We would love for you to be in the house. We coming straight to you. We coming straight to you.
Let me get my business calendar. I'm so bougie right now.
mm.
Mhm.
Let me put it on my calendar right now.
Yeah, we're gonna
Gotta
be at the
yeah,
Arlington
no, we go.
Seminar and Draft House.
Okay, Butter.
Oh,
Okay, I got it right. I got it right. Yeah,
I
the
think
Arlington
I think I
Seminar and
did.
Draft House.
I think I did see that on y'all page because I was about to go follow y'all page. You said
Mhm.
July. Let me look
17th.
at my calendar. That's a Sunday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
Sunday.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, no,
off.
so yeah, so we having a live podcast.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
In
make
front of
sure
a
I put
live
a
audience. You
holiday.
see,
I'm gonna put a
you was our
holiday
first.
on here.
You was our season opener. So
Mhm.
that show right there is gonna be our season finale.
Hmm.
That show right there is about to be our season finale. We this is our season opener. Our season finale is gonna be live in front of a live audience.
Hmm.
Oh,
So
no, I'm not gonna take anything. I'm not gonna take anything that day. I'm putting you in my calendar right now.
Well, thank you so very much. Thank you so
And,
we
very much.
appreciate that.
I'm
Hey,
putting
we
you in
got a
the
star in the
calendar
house
right
now. We're
now.
gonna have a star in the house.
and,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on my calendar right now.
and what you said earlier about it's nothing like having that interaction with a live audience, just you and the mic. That's gonna be our
That's
first
dope.
experience. Us with the live audience, us with just the mic. So we
Hmm.
And
really
we
want to
and so you
understand.
I ain't gonna lie. You was low key. You low key inspiring me just listening to you.
That's facts. That's
Your
facts.
journey and how you was basically just talking about your transition from doing comedy to actually being on stage, having the butterflies and all that. All that was really inspiring me because that's really what I was thinking about our live show. And once we get in front of that stage and actually, because it's cool, no matter how many viewers we get, how many people will be watching our show once we on stage, in front of that live audience, it's going to be something totally different.
Hmm.
Listen, I will push your show. I will push your show on my page. I will support you guys. Like it's nothing like I always say like I do a lot with other people. So like my friend has a restaurant. Um, I also you guys may see me a lot wearing bakery. That is a clothes that's my friend's clothing brand. Also, Kush Arts is my brother's. Kush Arts Design is my brother's clothing brand. But I've been doing a lot with bakery because he's helping me actually with my own clothing line and putting my LLC together. My guy Cheo Don. Um, they're black owned clothing boutique, hip hop clothing boutique on Amsterdam and 131st Street. And they also have a restaurant called Larry's Apartment, Key and Fork. So a lot of times I'll even go down there and work for free, and I work for clothes.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
I get a discount code. I got a discount code for people that wanna shop there. So I'm always in bakery when I'm performing. Like I have a couple of custom items that they have given me to wear, and my discount code on their website. If you go to Bakery Harlem, New York, Bakery HNY, you can use my code Cougar and get 25% off. Like we're all about building each other up. You know what I mean? I say all that to say like that's what I do. That's what they've done for me. Um, and I'm like family down there. Like I'll go behind the counter and help pack up stuff for Uber Eats deliveries. Like if I'm on an off day and they need help, like that's what I do. So I'm a firm believer in like no nothing beats a team.
Mhm. Well,
So
I wanted to say
I'm
something.
part of your team. So like I'm here for it. I'll be there.
Hey,
I'm coming to the show.
the same way you sending us shirts, we working on our shirts with our logo on it. So we're gonna
I
send you one
see.
of our shirts, and hopefully you can do a skit in it.
I see. I listen. I'm here for the cross promotion. Like get me while I'm free because now a lot of these people be charging this shit when they
Most
start getting
definitely.
this monetization.
Yeah,
Hey,
most
no, no,
definitely.
Y'all
We
no.
can think
definitely
of
gonna
We
send you
something and
one
we can.
once we get them up and running.
And when
nah,
I get my
nah, if
shit
you need
together too,
anything
I
from
got
us,
you
just
guys.
let us know.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
and when I come out there thinking something, because I may come out there and hang out with y'all, and being that I may not, I'm gonna try. I'm putting dates on my calendar right now. I'll probably stay out there for the night and then drive back the next day, being that it's a late thing.
Mm.
So like I'm like I said, I'm here for the networking. I got you on my calendar, July 17th. We gonna be in the building. The Cougar's gonna be in the house, and I'm here for you guys. Y'all
Hey,
y'all
thank you so
started
much.
with me, and I'm gonna end it with you.
Oh yeah, no. We like
We
that. Yeah,
love that.
we like how that. Yeah,
We definitely appreciate that. We definitely appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
Matter
definitely.
of fact, I'm about to start following you right now while we on here.
Yeah, I'm on my cell phone. Hopefully my battery ain't run out because I ain't charged it up. I got my little thing. But yeah, I this is yo, y'all talk me to death.
well,
Hey,
but
hey, hey, hey. That's what a podcast
it,
is, you know.
and this is me on the cover of Style and Soul magazine with my mentor. Shout out to, like I said before, my guy Smokey. This is
Oh, okay.
Harlem and Mount Vernon. So if y'all don't know who Smokey is, I was so proud of this. They gifted us this. This was the cover of the. I think this was spring edition of last year. Yes, spring edition 2021. It's so shout out to like when we talk about we work with each other. Like this is a black owned Style and Soul magazine, and they put me on the cover with my mentor last year. So I plugged all the people I've been working with.
you
Hmm.
sure did. You
Okay,
give
okay,
everybody a
okay.
shout out.
That's
We
the way
like
it's
that.
supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. We gotta show each other love. We all
Yeah,
trying.
definitely. You
And,
know,
I, and I'm and I'm also doing the Cougar calendar for 2023. So I'm trying to get that shit together too. I should start a new GoFundMe for the calendar. So I'm trying to get a calendar together for next year too. So like I'm all for the cross promotion. I'm all for the branding. I'm all for building and being better.
Nah, but before you go, if you can go ahead and give our viewers all your information again, tell them what your next upcoming show is. Give them all the information you can one more time before we close it out.
I'm not even sure. I know if it's like my shows come so randomly, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out when my next one is.
Mm.
I'm sorry, I do know when my next show is. So let me open up my account. I'm so professional.
Mhm.
nah, that's what. Hey,
So
we
y'all
need
need to follow me on
one like you.
Instagram. I am just how my name is spelled right here. Christine Christine the comedy COMEDY Cougar COUGAR. Put the at before that and follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. And please click like anything you see when I go live. Put a badge in there. Do something. Help me stay monetized on these social media platforms.
Mhm.
Uh, every Monday, we are at Comedy in Harlem. It's a black-owned comedy club in Harlem. It's on 117th and Pleasant, right next to Lighthouse Fish Market. You go upstairs. Every Monday, my guy Smokey is there. We have an open mic there on Mondays. I'm there a lot of nights too. That's Monday, so that's this Monday coming up. Wednesdays, if I'm not there, sometimes I'm there. Skinny Cantinas, that's in Harlem as well. That's on just type in Skinny Cantina, you'll find it. It's on Skinny Cantina on the Hudson. It's right by the entrance to the West Side Highway. And we're there Wednesday night just for an hour of R&B comedy. Thursday night we are at Barcode. No, I'm sorry, Code Red in the Bronx on Boston Road. Pull up there. It's a late night show every Thursday night. I'm there a lot of times. My guy Smokey hosts that room. And every last Tuesday, or any Tuesday you want to go to, but the last Tuesday I'm there hosting. That is Hood Royalty, my guy Mook Diamond, Cove Restaurant, Queens, Merrick Boulevard. All of that stuff is being posted on my social media page. And I'll be in Florida, Tampa, Florida. Hold on, I gotta go. Oh, April 30th, I'll be in Tampa, Florida at Talent's Room at more eventful space. So all of that is on my social media. And anytime I have a show that randomly happens, like I pull up, I pop it on. I'm gonna be hanging out Tuesday at my boy Rob Stapleton's room. He has Tuesday is oh my God. Tuesday is Salsa con Fuego, and I'm just gonna be hanging out in the room because the biggest comedian and one of the biggest comedian, and I forgot to mention him, the mother sucker himself, Michael Blackson is gonna be there. So I'm gonna be hanging out. I'm just gonna be in the room, and that's another funny nigga I like. I like Michael Blackson. I like, oh my God, it's so many comedians like the OG. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name right now? Oh my God, I can't think of his name right now, but there's so many comedians that I literally talk about. I really admire, and oh my God, why can't I think of his name right now? Who raised you? Who says that? Why can't I think of that right now? TK Kirkland. Oh my God, I had a brain fart.
There you go.
TK Kirkland, TK Kirkland, Kenny Williams. Like, there's so many comedians that I'm moving around in these streets now that I'm like, I'm just proud to be around. Like I said, comedy in Harlem. My guy Jamie Roberts opened up his room, and Omar Thompson opened up his room in Harlem on 125th Street, Thompson Studios. And it's just a lot going on right now. And like I said before, Aruga's Black-owned comedy club in Jersey. I performed there the other night, and every last Thursday, my girl Natasha Face, Bob Sumner is looking for the next hottest comedian. They have an open mic there, and you can perform in front of one of the biggest talent lookers in comedy. He does the Apollo, Bob Sumner. So like, if you follow me, you will see a lot of stuff that's going on that I'm just a part of and I'm participating in.
All right.
Okay.
That's a lot again, you know.
No. You know what I'm saying? We good. Hopefully, all y'all, y'all, if y'all ain't followed her, you know what I'm saying, to subscribe to any of her pages, please do so. And yeah, no, we definitely.
We got to show us some love, Timo.
Yeah, definitely.
Show us some love. Yes, man.
I thought you was gonna pick up that dollar thing and start throwing dollars at me and shit like that, like them strippers.
Hey.
Don't pay me no mind. My mind goes left sometimes. Goes left.
Hey, no. You good, but nah, what's it called? But nah, we definitely appreciate you coming on. You know what I'm saying? It's season opener. You know, what's it called? Y'all, Timo. Y'all can follow me at off the top _media. I'm gonna continue giving y'all this content. You know, keep putting things out there for y'all to think about, different topics. And yeah, we're gonna continue on. This is only the first episode. We about to keep this shit going. Noah.
Yeah, y'all already know it's Nova. Nova Noah. Follow me on IG at Nova_Noah. The first episode was amazing. I enjoyed Christine and and all the information she gave us, the jokes, the laugh. It was an amazing show. And
Yeah,
so that was just the first one. We got more and more to come. And like I said, we appreciate her networking with us, and we're gonna continue to work
definitely.
with Christine in the future. Like I
I
said,
appreciate it.
this just the first episode. Everybody, come back next week. We're gonna do it all over again. Butter, go ahead and close us out.
Man, y'all know me, man. Butter TV. Follow me on Instagram. You know, but we had a tough conversation that might need to end in a hug. It's Butter, Noble Noah, Timo, and Miss Comedy Cougar. It's all love. We appreciate y'all for watching the show, y'all. After party is on Timo page. You know what I'm saying? Probably about 30 minutes.
Good night. And I probably have a party in like about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Good night.
All right. No, we definitely appreciate you.
All right.
Thank
Hey,
you
we
guys.
definitely appreciate you though.
Much love. Thank you.